All right. What's going on, my friends? I am sitting here with Autumn, who is absolutely crushing it. She is smashing. I'm just super proud to see her growth come October, come November, and now we're into December. So, Autumn, if you can you please just introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and ultimately, what were you actually doing before you actually got started with PMU Launch?
Okay, well, my name's Autumn Williams, and I am in the Portland, Oregon, actually Vancouver, Washington area. So we're very close together, Pacific Northwest area of the United States. Um, and I, prior to using PMU Launch, I was really relying not only on just word of mouth, but Google Ads. That was kind of my thing. I would not say that I ever really relied on social media or Instagram or Facebook before. I really was doing paid ads, but I was doing it through Google. And that was successful for me for a time, for a few years actually. And then I
Mhm.
would say about a year to a year and a half ago, I saw the efficacy of those ads um, leaving me, and it was costing me more, but I was getting less in return. And it was
Mhm.
really unsettling because that had really been kind of a set it and forget it kind of thing for me in
Yeah.
combination with referrals and return clients.
Mhm.
And then when Google Ads started to underperform for me, I started trying to work with that. But then I just decided that it was maybe time to try something different.
Mhm.
So that's how I found PMU Launch, because I was kind of figuring out how else am I going to market myself. I'm old enough that I remember putting in paid print advertising, and we don't have that anymore. So what do you do?
Mhm.
So yeah, so now I'm in the Facebook ads game.
I
So
I
yeah.
love it. Let me ask you this, like since you've like kind of been making made the transition, what would you say is like your biggest takeaway as you're like running through Facebook ads, going through our program, things like that?
I prefer the interactiveness of the Facebook ad system. With Google ads, you're paying, but you're just sitting back and waiting. You don't know who's looking, who's clicking. You're trying to do your best with your demographics, but I like it is a little bit more work, but I like reaching out to people, creating that dialogue, and feeling like I know where my leads are coming from
Yeah.
versus just sitting and waiting. I like the proactiveness of it.
Yeah,
So,
love it. I love it. And right now, in terms of like results, do you know how like you've been performing? Like, let's say since you got started, come
yeah.
yeah.
So, actually, my first month, which was, I kind of started with you guys the end of September, like the middle of September. And I
Mhm.
had a problem initially where I was having some technical difficulties, and there was a chat bot in my Facebook ads, and it was just killing me. It was just killing me. So for the
Mhm.
first 2 weeks, I really didn't see a lot of results, but then I got that out of my ad messaging, and it really started to pick up. And this is a little bit of a weird time of the year for permanent makeup. My October was great. I did so my highest grossing month that I've ever done was 12,000, and I did 13,000 in October with the use of the
Hey,
Facebook ads.
that's good.
Um, so that's great. So that was a new high for me. Um, and then yeah, so since October, November was as we got into the holidays, it kind of settled a little bit, but I still did well in November, eight in November, and now we're hoping to do 8 for December as well during a little bit of the weird holiday period.
Mm.
um, so that's good. I would say that I have I've been in the business for a little bit, so I do have some historical data as
Mhm.
to what is good for my business.
Yeah.
And I do like to see it kind of in that 8 to 10 range. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping that once the holidays are done, we're kicking back up there to the 5 digits.
Hey, I like it. I like it. I love it. Let me ask you this, like, since you've kind of been in, obviously you've been in the game, so you've been doing Google Ads and transitioned over to Facebook. But if someone is kind of in the same position, maybe they're using Google Ads before, maybe they are kind of dependent on word of mouth, and like they're kind of sitting on the fence. Like they maybe spoken to
Mhm.
someone from us, or they're just like interested, and you have an opportunity to have a conversation with them. What would you say someone is kind of sitting on that fence?
I would say that it's a good investment because it's an investment in yourself. You're learning a skill. Again, with the Google ads, I felt like I just had to sit back and wait. Whatever magic was happening behind the screen, I wasn't really a part of. And I
Mhm.
really like this as a way to feel like, okay, I'm placing my ads. I'm aware of the parameters and the criteria. I'm actually talking to the prospect so I can get them the information. So I'd say learning the skills, you're going to have a takeaway at the end versus just, paying somebody for a service.
Yes, 1000%. I love that. A huge takeaway.
Yeah.
Um, do you have, as of right now, like any big takeaways or any big last like final words you kind of want to share?
Well, like I've heard lots of other people say on these videos, you have to do the work. Uh, so yes, you do. You have to do that. And I think everyone has to kind of set their own definition of how active they want to be,
Mhm.
um, what works for you. But yeah, you know what? It's a get in what get out what you put in kind of situation. So
100%.
yeah.
100%. Well, I love it. I mean, like right now, you're super proud of you. Seriously, congratulations on your growth, on your record month ever. That's
Whatever.
pretty. How you
Right.
feel about that?
That's great. Great. One thing I'm personally looking for, and I don't know if other artists have this challenge, is consistency.
Mhm.
Especially I think with what's happening in our economy, there's a lot of volatility right now, and things
Mhm.
are very up and down. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of my next thing that I want to really continue to work on is how do we get that consistency so
Mhm.
we aren't, seeing $5,000 swings from month to month.
Yeah.
Um, and that could be a little challenging, but it is something to continue to, your work's not over once you hit that goal, right? You got to keep striving to try to hit it again, right?
1000%. I love that. No, well, that's the right mentality at the end of the day. It's how can we continue to create stability to sustain the growth that we're creating?
Right.
So good. That's the right process. Good stuff. Seriously. Congrats on the growth, congrats on the attitude. And I'm excited to see where you're gonna be in the next like 6 months as you continue to stack on these skills.
Right. Right. Yeah, me too.
So